Have you ever noticed that every time you speak too much in public, someone quietly measures you? Your tone, your gestures, your reactions. They're not just listening, they're calculating. There are rules you were taught, and then there are rules whispered only among those who rule. The kind Machiavelli never dared to write, but lived by. These rules separate those who hold power from those who perform it. They separate dominance from exposure. Most people today believe power is something you display. A loud voice, a confident walk, a public performance of strength. But Machiavelli knew a darker truth. Real power doesn't come from what you reveal. It comes from what you deliberately conceal. And nowhere is this tested more brutally than in public. Because every time you step outside, you're not just being seen, you're being judged. Not only by people, but by opportunity itself. By predators, observers, and rivals, watching for one small crack. One careless smile, and you're labeled. One impulsive word, and you're remembered. One weak reaction, and you're defined forever. This is the silent battlefield Machiavelli understood. The game of perception and control. In that game, the wise do not seek to be seen. They master the art of making others seek them. They move like shadows. They speak rarely. And when they do, the world listens. So, if you want to survive in this noisy world, don't try to stand out. Become unreadable. Don't try to be liked. Become ungraspable. Because once people can't predict you, they begin to fear you. And that fear is respect in disguise. Machiavelli warned, in public, power doesn't come from your actions, but from your control over yourself. Before you speak, before you post, before you react, remember, the world isn't watching for truth. It's watching for weakness. And in that silence between what you feel and what you choose to show, power is born. Rule 1. Never complain in public. There's a moment every powerful man must face. The moment he wants to scream. He's been betrayed, humiliated, misunderstood. And his instinct says, speak, defend yourself, let them know the truth. But the truth is, the moment you complain, you give away the only thing that still protects you, your mystery. Machiavelli once said, the true ruler never complains about the weight of his crown, for he understands that silence is the crown. In public, every word you release becomes ammunition. Every sigh becomes data. You think people are listening to understand. They're listening to measure. You say, my boss doesn't respect me. They hear, this person is weak. You say, life is unfair. They think, this one can be controlled. Every complaint is a map, and the world studies it to find where you bleed. If you've ever felt punished just for being honest, comment, I choose silence, not weakness. We live in an age that worships expression, where people are told that sharing pain is healing. But Machiavelli would smile and whisper, when you speak of your wounds, the world doesn't heal you. It only learns how to hurt you better. That's why truly powerful people bleed in silence, because the moment you explain your pain, you teach the world how to repeat it. You've seen this before. The friend who always talks about how unfair life is. The co-worker who vents about every slight. The influencer who dramatizes every disappointment. At first, you empathize. Then slowly, you stop respecting them. Not because they're wrong, but because they've lost composure. Complaining lowers your status faster than failure. Because failure can earn respect, but self-pity never does. If you've ever been the calm one in a room full of noise, comment, my silence speaks louder. Remember, silence doesn't mean surrender. It means control, because whoever masters their emotion masters the emotions of everyone around them. When others scream, I stay silent. When they rage, I observe, because my calm terrifies them more than any threat. Complaining feels good for a second, but it quietly trains your brain to believe you're powerless. The more you voice frustration, the more you anchor yourself as a victim. Power never belongs to those who seek sympathy. Empathy doesn't create respect. Pity doesn't create trust. Someone may comfort you today, but tomorrow they'll never entrust you with anything great, because deep down they see you as the one who needs saving. If you understand that pain doesn't need to be public to be powerful, comment, I endure in silence, and silence is my power. In his letters, Machiavelli wrote that the calmest man in chaos always becomes the center of gravity, because the world doesn't respect who's right. It respects who stays composed longer. When you stay silent through the storm, people begin to wonder, why isn't he reacting? What is he thinking? What is he planning next? That silence creates tension, a stillness so deep it unbalances everyone around you, because they can't manipulate what they can't read. The complainer seeks fairness. The Machiavellian creates it. So, the next time you feel the urge to complain, pause, lift your head, let your eyes do the talking. Don't show them your wounds. Don't show them your limits, because silence isn't avoidance. It's a declaration. I am rebuilding my power, and I don't need anyone to know. Rule 2. Never reveal your insecurity. There's a kind of silence that follows insecurity. The silence of people who just saw through you. You tried to act confident. You smiled a little too wide, spoke a little too much, laughed a little too soon, and in that tiny fracture of your mask, they found the truth. You needed to be seen. Machiavelli once said, you don't have to be perfect, but make them believe you are. Because in the real world, insecurity isn't an emotion. It's a signal, a quiet flare sent into the air that says, you can control me if you push this button. The moment you say, I'm not sure if I'm good enough, you've already told the crowd exactly how to defeat you. In his time, rulers who confessed weakness rarely ruled for long. If you've ever been judged for showing too much doubt, comment, I control myself. I don't seek reassurance. The modern world worships authenticity. Be open, be vulnerable, show the real you. But Machiavelli would whisper, the world doesn't reward vulnerability, it studies it. Every time you confess a fear, you give the ambitious a manual to manipulate you. Not everyone who listens wants to help. Some only want to map your emotions so they know exactly which lever to pull later. That's why the Machiavellian never confesses weakness publicly. He confesses it privately to himself. Because power isn't the absence of fear. It's the ability to stand still within it. If you've ever stayed calm while shaking inside, comment, my stillness is my armor. He told his students, when fear strikes, don't deny it. Let it move through you, then cage it behind your eyes. That's why truly powerful people seem calm. Not because they feel nothing, but because they've trained their chaos to obey. You can tell when someone hasn't. Their words run faster than their breath. Their tone wavers when challenged. Their need for approval leaks through every sentence. Machiavelli observed, those who seek to prove confidence only prove they lack it. Confidence doesn't shout. It doesn't need witnesses. It exists, and the room adjusts. So when you walk into a room, don't try to convince anyone you're strong. Just stand still. Look once. Speak little. Let them project power onto you, because imagination is more persuasive than truth. If you've ever been underestimated but stayed calm, comment, I don't prove I project. People say, show them the real you. But what they mean is, show them enough for me to read you. And once they can read you, they can own you. That's why the wise cultivate strategic mystery. They reveal fragments, never the whole, because the more people know, the less they respect. Mystery commands what honesty cannot. Imagination. And imagination always paints you larger than reality. When you confess insecurity, you shrink. When you hide it, you expand. So when fear rises, don't fight it. Let it live quietly behind your calm. Let it transform into focus. Because fear, when hidden, becomes energy. But fear, when exposed, becomes evidence. The next time someone says, "Be honest, what's your biggest weakness?" Smile slightly, pause, and reply, "If I told you that, you'd know too much." Then stay silent, because that silence will say everything you need. Rule 3. Never reveal your plan. Everyone loves to talk about their dreams, their goals, their next big move. They think it's motivation, but it's exposure. Because the moment you speak your plan aloud, you give the world a map of your mind. And whoever studies that map can destroy you without ever touching you. Machiavelli once warned, "He who reveals his design gives others the power to ruin it." We live in a time where people announce everything. "I'm building something big. I'm working on a project. I'm going to prove them wrong." They think speaking it out loud makes it real. But what they don't know is, public excitement kills private momentum. The moment you say it, your brain gets its dopamine hit. You feel like you've already begun. But in truth, you've just released your energy into the air and lost the silence where execution grows. If you've ever spoken your plan too soon and watched it fade, comment, "I build in silence. The foolish share to be praised. The wise stay silent to finish." Remember the last time you told someone your plan, and suddenly they doubted you, advised you, or distracted you. They didn't mean harm, but every word they said shifted your focus from creation to validation. Machiavelli understood this centuries ago. When many know your intention, each becomes a potential obstacle. That's why he advised princes to act first and explain later, because surprise is a weapon, and the unseen move is always the one that wins the war. If you understand that mystery protects momentum, comment, "They'll see results, not the process." When people don't know what you're doing, they can't prepare to stop you. When they don't know your timeline, they can't compete with it. And when they can't predict your next move, they begin to fear it. That's why the Machiavellian doesn't announce his projects. He disappears, and when he returns, it's already too late for anyone else to react. The world celebrates those who share the journey, but Machiavelli would laugh. The more they follow your steps, the easier it is for them to trip you. Every word you speak about your ambition is a seed stolen by the wind. Only those planted in silence take root deep enough to survive. If you're the type who vanishes before success and reappears unstoppable, comment, "I let results announce me." He once wrote, "Let them see the crown, not the struggle that forged it." Because in strategy, timing isn't everything. Secrecy is. Even the right move, said too early, becomes weakness. When people ask, "What are you working on?" don't give them fuel. Give them fog. Smile and say, "Something small. You'll see soon." Then vanish. Let their curiosity work for you, because curiosity is unpaid marketing, and mystery is free power. He who controls information controls the narrative, and he who controls the narrative controls the world. So remember, you don't owe the world your blueprint. You owe it your masterpiece. Speak less, move quietly, finish privately, and when you finally reveal what you've built, the world won't question you. It will bow. Rule 4. Never take sides in petty conflicts. Every crowd demands a hero. Every argument begs for a savior. But the moment you step into someone else's battle, you stop being a strategist and become their pawn. In Machiavelli's world, neutrality wasn't cowardice. It was the highest form of power. He wrote, "The wise man lets others destroy themselves in conflict, and he only observes." When you take sides, you do two foolish things at once. You reveal your emotions and you expose your alliances. The moment you say, "I stand with this person," you've just told the room where your loyalties lie and where your pressure points are. If you've ever regretted defending someone who never defended you, comment, "I observe, I don't react." You've seen it happen. At work, online, in social circles, someone asks for your opinion in a small drama, hoping you'll pick a side. But they don't want fairness. They want validation. And the moment you join, you've been pulled into their theater. Machiavelli called it the trap of public emotion. He wrote, "The crowd's loyalty changes faster than the wind. The one who speaks least outlasts them all. The room may see your silence as cold, but the longer you remain still, the more everyone begins to question. Whose side is he on? Why doesn't he speak?" And that uncertainty makes you the center of gravity. If you've ever been dragged into drama you didn't create, comment, "I stay neutral, and that's my weapon." People fear neutrality because neutrality can't be predicted. They don't know if you're ally or enemy, and in that doubt, they show their true selves. That's why Machiavelli always watched first. He understood. The impatient expose themselves through anger. The intelligent wait and collect information. When you observe in silence, people fill that silence with their own confessions. They project, they reveal, they underestimate you, and by the time they realize who you truly are, you already hold every piece of information they carelessly gave away. If you understand that silence can be strategy, comment, "I let the storm reveal who's weak." Most conflicts are traps, disguised as conversations. A Machiavellian knows every emotional argument is a test, and the first to react always loses. He once wrote, "The strong never rush to judgment, for time itself will expose what words cannot." So when someone asks, "Whose side are you on?" the wise answer is, "I observe to understand, not to choose." Because once you declare a side, you stop observing and start defending. And the moment you defend, you lose control of the narrative. You don't win wars by picking every fight. You win by letting others waste their energy first. While they burn through rage, you conserve power. And when the dust settles, only the calm ones remain standing. People will call you cold. They'll say you lack loyalty. But understand this, loyalty is worthless when emotion dictates it. The truest loyalty is to your own control. If you've learned to walk away from chaos without losing your mind, comment, "I control peace, I don't chase it." Machiavelli would smile and say, "When others speak too much, I know they need to be heard. When I stay silent, I know I'm being watched." That's not weakness, that's power, because silence in conflict isn't avoidance, it's domination. Rule 5. Never crave attention. Attention is the most addictive drug ever invented. It gives you dopamine, it gives you validation, and then it owns you, because the one who craves to be seen will always be ruled by the one who knows how to disappear. Machiavelli once wrote, "He who controls his presence controls perception, and perception is power." We live in a world that rewards visibility. Everyone wants to be known, to be admired, to be remembered. But attention is not power. Scarcity is. When you are everywhere, people stop valuing you. When you speak too often, your words lose weight. When you chase validation, you reveal your hunger. And hunger is the easiest thing to manipulate. If you've ever felt drained by needing to be seen, comment, "I choose presence, not performance." The loudest person in the room is rarely the most powerful. Noise is the costume of insecurity. Machiavelli understood that charisma doesn't come from words. It comes from restraint, from the ability to let silence do the work. The truly magnetic man, he said, is not the one who seeks attention, but the one whose silence demands it. When you speak less, people start imagining more, and imagination is the most powerful amplifier of your image. Those who seek attention fade the moment they stop performing, but those who control attention become unforgettable even in absence. If you've ever felt overlooked, remember, invisibility is not failure, it's preparation. Comment, "My silence builds anticipation." Attention is a trap dressed as validation. It makes you feel seen, but what it really does is train you to depend on other people's eyes. The Machiavellian refuses this game. He appears rarely, but every time he does, it's unforgettable. He knew that timing is the soul of influence. Appear too often and they get used to you. Disappear for long enough and your return becomes an event. The wise don't chase the spotlight. They master its rhythm, because light only obeys those who understand darkness. If you understand that mystery is stronger than exposure, comment, "I don't chase attention, I control it." Machiavelli would say, when people see you everywhere, they stop hunting for you. But when you vanish, they begin to wonder. That's the secret of power, to make absence louder than presence. Because what people cannot understand, they cannot forget. Let others perform for applause. You build for legacy. Appear only when necessary. Speak only when silence can't do it better. You don't need to be seen. You need to be felt, and those who can be felt without speaking rule the crowd, even in silence. Rule 6. Never break under pressure. Pressure doesn't destroy people. Reaction does. Because in this world, you're not judged by what happens to you. You're judged by how quietly you face it. Machiavelli once said, "He who loses composure shows others where his heart can be pierced." These end are later. Most people collapse not because the problem is too big, but because their reaction is too loud. They raise their voice. They rush to defend. They tremble, explain, justify. And in that moment, the crowd no longer sees strength. They see instability. If you've ever stayed calm while everyone else lost control, comment, "My calm terrifies chaos." The truth is, the world doesn't care who's right. It only respects who stays composed longer, because composure is gravity. It pulls everything toward it. It makes those who shout look foolish. It makes those who accuse look desperate. Machiavelli understood the deepest social law. The calmer you appear, the more others lose control. Calm is not the absence of emotion. It's the mastery of it. When others rage, you breathe. When others shake, you slow down. Because power isn't who can yell the loudest. It's who can stand still while the ground shakes. If you understand that composure is control, comment, "I breathe slow. I never react." Pressure is a weapon used by those who can't win with logic. They'll provoke you, test you, bait you, not to defeat you, but to make you reveal yourself. Because the one who reacts first always loses control of the frame. Machiavelli taught this to rulers. When under attack, never show surprise. The enemy's confidence dies the moment they realize you expected it. That's why every confrontation is an illusion. It's never about truth. It's about emotional leverage. And when you refuse to break, you steal that leverage. Your stillness becomes a mirror, and your enemies end up confronting themselves. If you've ever been tested and refused to react, comment, "My silence is my counterattack." Machiavelli believed that anger is the tool of the manipulated, but calm is the mark of the ruler, because composure rewrites the hierarchy. The moment you stay silent while others lose control, you become the authority, even if you hold no title. He once wrote, "The weak collapse when failure arrives. The strong make failure look like strategy. The world doesn't react to facts. It reacts to posture. If you appear defeated, they'll finish you. If you appear calm, they'll fear you still have a plan." That illusion of control is the most powerful weapon a man can carry, because calm creates mystery, and mystery commands respect. If you've ever learned to stand still in chaos, comment, "I stay calm so the world loses control." So when the pressure rises, don't defend, don't react, don't rush to explain. Slow your breathing, straighten your spine, hold your gaze, because the moment you stay still, you stop being the tested and become the standard. The calmest one in chaos is always the one everyone watches and silently obeys. Rule 7. Never over-explain yourself. The weak always seek to be understood. The strong make others interpret them. Every time you over-explain, you surrender the most precious thing you own: mystery. Machiavelli once said, "Over-explaining is not communication, it's submission." When you explain yourself too much, you hand others a map to your fears. You say more, they assume more. You clarify, they sense insecurity, because silence, in the game of power, is always read as confidence. If you've ever tried to justify yourself and felt smaller afterward, comment, "I don't explain, I demonstrate." Most people believe that being clear earns trust, but clarity doesn't create respect. Restraint does. The more words you use, the cheaper they become. The more you justify, the weaker your presence feels. Machiavelli taught princes, let them misunderstand you. It keeps them thinking, because when people can't fully read you, their minds work overtime to fill the silence. And the image they imagine is always greater than the truth you'd have explained. If you've ever realized that your silence said more than your words, comment, "My mystery is my defense." When you're misunderstood, your ego screams to clarify. But power is born when you resist that scream, because those who demand to be understood have already accepted dependency. They need others' approval to feel certain. The Machiavellian doesn't need to be understood. He needs to be feared, respected, and remembered. He speaks once and lets silence do the rest. Machiavelli wrote, "The wise man's words are like arrows. One is enough to end the debate. Every extra sentence you speak is a brick removed from your fortress." The wise protect their meaning behind stillness. If you've ever chosen silence instead of arguing, comment, "I let others explain me." That's the secret. You don't win arguments by proving. You win them by controlling tension. Your silence becomes the stage where others expose themselves. Your calm becomes the weapon that disarms their noise. When you stop explaining, you force the world to fill the gaps with imagination. And imagination is always more powerful than truth. So the next time someone questions you, don't rush to respond. Pause, look them in the eyes, and say, "Perhaps you already understand me." Then say nothing more. They'll replay your silence for days, and in that space of uncertainty, your power grows. Rule 8. Never show bitterness after rejection. Everyone faces rejection, but few ever master it. Most people beg, explain, rage, as if losing something means losing themselves. But Machiavelli knew the truth. He who remains calm after being rejected makes the world wonder if he ever needed it at all. Rejection isn't the wound they think it is. It's the test of your image. The moment you show bitterness, you teach the world that what you lost had power over you. And in the game of perception, the one who seems unaffected always wins. If you've ever been rejected but stayed silent, comment, "I remain calm." They'll remember that. The weak display pain to earn sympathy. The strong conceal pain to create mystery. Because the moment you say, "I'm fine," you've already confessed that you're not. Every defense is a quiet admission of defeat. The Machiavellian doesn't explain. He vanishes, not out of weakness, but out of calculation. Absence, Machiavelli wrote, is a mirror where regret grows. When you disappear without a word, the human mind can't stand the silence. It fills it with doubt, with guilt, with curiosity, and suddenly, the one who rejected you starts replaying the moment, wondering if they made a mistake. If you've ever chosen silence instead of reaction, comment, "My absence speaks louder than anger." Bitterness is emotional debt. You keep paying for something that no longer exists. But calm is profit, because silence makes rejection feel incomplete. It turns the final word into an unfinished sentence. Machiavelli understood this better than anyone. The rejected suffer only once. The rejecter suffers forever through imagination. That's the secret. When you don't react, you don't close the story. You leave it open, and open stories haunt people. The next time you're rejected, don't prove your worth. Don't chase closure. Don't post about lessons learned. Just vanish, because indifference is the most elegant revenge ever invented. If you've ever turned pain into silence, comment, "I hold no bitterness. I turn wounds into legend." That's how the world works. They remember those who react with rage, but they regret those who react with silence. Because calm after rejection is not indifference, it's transformation. It says, "I've already replaced your validation with my self-control." Machiavelli would smile and say, "Let them believe they rejected you," when in truth, it was you who rejected needing them. Don't try to be understood. Don't try to be pitied. Be remembered as the one who walked away without looking back. Rule 9. Never publicly criticize someone more powerful than you. Power doesn't punish lies. It punishes timing. You can be right, but if you're right too soon, you'll die for it. Machiavelli once said, "He who attacks a king and fails to kill him has signed his own death warrant." People believe that speaking the truth is bravery, but in the world of power, bravery without calculation is suicide disguised as virtue. When you criticize someone above you, you're not only aiming upward, you're revealing your position below. If you've ever learned that timing is stronger than truth, comment, "I strike in silence." He understood this law better than anyone. Power is not a battle of facts. It's a battle of perception. And the public critic always looks smaller than the one he attacks, because when you shout against power, you don't look courageous. You look desperate. Machiavelli wrote in The Prince, "Those who oppose power before it weakens do not destroy it. They feed it." If you want to defeat a lion, you don't scream at it in daylight. You wait until it's old, tired, and everyone else has stopped fearing it. That's how power truly falls. Not by confrontation, but by decay. If you understand that silence is strategy, comment, I wait until strength becomes noise. He knew that timing is the art of invisible dominance. When the crowd still worships a man, to attack him is to attack their belief. But when time turns and whispers replace applause, that's when one word from you can shatter everything. And when that moment comes, you don't need to shout. You only need to say, I warned of this long ago. The wise don't fire first. They let arrogance pull the trigger for them. And when the fall begins, they're already standing where the light shifts next. If you've ever held your truth until the perfect moment, comment, I let power expose itself. Public criticism is a hunger for recognition. But the Machiavellian doesn't need credit. He needs control. He lets the powerful burn themselves with their own flame. He waits until ego turns to exhaustion, and when the empire cracks, he steps forward calm, precise, unchallenged. Do not fight power, Machiavelli wrote. Let power fight itself, because every throne destroys its own occupant. You just have to stay standing long enough to watch. He never opposed kings. He outlived them. And that is the final law of power. Don't shout truth in the marketplace. Whisper it in eternity. The moment you learn to hold your opinion longer than others can hold their temper, you stop being the observer. You become the throne itself. If you've made it here, you've walked through the noise. You've seen how the world mistakes volume for strength and weakness for virtue. But Machiavelli never wrote for the loud. He wrote for the ones who endure in silence, the rare few who understand that control is the highest form of power. You've learned the forbidden laws: to stay calm when provoked, to vanish when watched, to be silent when others beg to be heard, to let your absence create fear, to speak only when silence is no longer enough. Power, he said, is not about domination, it's about self-possession. And now, you no longer chase understanding. You no longer crave validation. You've outgrown the need to be seen. Because the true Machiavellian doesn't perform power, he embodies it. If you've learned to turn emotion into silence, and silence into strength, comment, I do not chase power, I become power. Understand this. The world rewards the calm. It follows those who need nothing, because needing nothing is the most terrifying form of freedom. You've seen how the crowd reacts to rejection, how it shouts to be noticed, how it collapses under pressure. But you stayed composed. You turned every test into theater, and every silence into strategy. This is the paradox of mastery. The moment you stop proving yourself, the world starts to believe you. You've become unreadable, unreachable, unshakable, and that's the highest throne a human can build, the one that exists entirely within. If you've understood what silence truly means, comment, silence is my crown. Number 3. Let his silence is my crown. Don't try to be loved. Let them never forget you. Don't try to be understood. Let them keep guessing, because mystery outlives beauty. Composure outlasts chaos, and silence always outlasts noise. Every public victory begins with deliberate silence. The silence when you're misunderstood. The silence when you're rejected. The silence when the world tries to make you react, and you choose not to. When the world demands your voice, offer them stillness. When they demand reaction, offer them mystery, because those who cannot be read cannot be ruled. The modern Machiavellian has no need to shout. He simply breathes, and the world adjusts. Comment, I do not chase power. I become power. Subscribe not to learn Machiavelli, but to become what he foresaw. Silence is not the end. Silence is where power begins.